Hello, it's Miss Teri, and it's time for Flannel Friday. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while, so it's good to see you. And, you know, it's near Christmas time, so Merry Christmas. Today, we are going to tell the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. And of course, you know, I put my little spin on it. So, we shall begin. Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a farm. It was a poor farm. There wasn't much there. There was a cow. Whoops. And there was a goose. And there was a mom. And there was a little boy named Jack. And Jack, he was the type of boy that all he liked to do all day long was play video games and eat in his room and not clean his room. And he didn't like to go to school. So in other words, he was a teenager. Ew. But his mom had had it. She had gotten mad and she had just had it up to here with the way he was doing things. The only thing that Jack really loved in this world besides his mother and his video games and his eating was his cow. So his mom said, you know what? Take this cow to the market. But it wasn't just any cow. Oh no, oh no. This cow, if you milked it, it had chocolate milk. Yes, chocolate milk. So it was worth quite a lot. And Jack was like, no, Mom, please don't make me sell this cow. It's the only thing I really love. It kind of like does both the things I love. It gives me the snacks I love, like chocolate milk, and I just love the animal part. I love to pet it. And the mom says, no, Jack, no. I told you to clean your room. I told you to go to school. I told you to stop playing video games all day, and you won't listen to me, so you're gonna have to sell this cow. And you better make a lot of money off of it too, so that we don't have to sell the farm. And Jack's like, all right, I'll do it. So he takes the cow and he goes to town. All the while he's telling the cow how much he loves it. I love you, cow. I love you. I don't want to sell you. I also love your chocolate milk. I'm so sad I won't have chocolate milk anymore. So he takes the cow and he meets a man at the market. And this man was kind of like a con artist, which is like someone who like sells you something that's not worth as much as it should be. And he told Jack, I'll sell you these magic beans. These magic beans. I'll trade you them for your cow that has chocolate milk, because I love chocolate milk. And Jack's like, whatever, dude. Magic beans? I'm not that stupid. And the guy's like, no, really, look. In my hand, they jump. Look, they're magic. Jack looked at this guy's hand. He's like, oh, wow, they are magic. That's so cool. I wonder what else they can do. Sure, I'll trade my cow for these magic beans. And so he gave his beloved chocolate milking cow away. Bye-bye, cow, I love you. Moo. And he got these magic beans in return. Who knows what these magic beans do? Who knows if they're even magic? This guy could have been making a move in his hand on their own. Not that they're magic. So anyway, he hurried back home with his magic beans. He was so excited to tell his mother, Mother, I sold the cow. And she's like, really, Jack? I'm so proud of you. What did you get for the cow? How much did you get? Are we going to be able to keep the farm? Maybe we have some left over. I can go buy me a beautiful dress. Jack's like, well, I traded it. What'd you trade it for, Jack? Said Mom. Oh, I traded it for these magic beans. His mom goes, and Jack says, really, I traded them for the magic beans. They're magic. They jump in your hand. The guy showed me. I saw it. I didn't just like take him on his word. I watched them jump in his hand. I'm not stupid. I saw them. And his mom went, what is wrong with you? Don't you know you don't trade beans for a chocolate milking cow? That's a one-of-a-kind cow. What were you thinking? And Jack's like, but they're magic. We don't know what they do. And she's like, oh, Jack, I'm really disappointed in you. I thought you were more responsible than this. I guess we'll just have to eat them for dinner now that we don't have any milk, to make things with, and we don't have any money to go buy groceries. So she cooked the beans, and they ate them. And what was left over, they threw out the window to the geese. Good. Here you go, geese. Eat some magic beans. Eat them all up. Well, guess what? Guess what happened? This goose came along, and goose are honkers. Honk, honk, honk. And it came along and it ate these magic beans. And you know what happened? Well, nothing right now. Everybody went to sleep. Everybody's sleeping. The cow is gone. They took him to a faraway land because he's one of a kind, or she's one of a kind cow doing chocolate milk. Everybody's snoring, sleeping. But overnight, something happens to this goose that ate the magic beans. Something starts growing and growing and growing. And before you know it, what happened? What happened is that there was a beanstalk growing out of the ground, and there was no sign of the goose. What happened to the goose? It disappeared. We don't know what happened to it, but we know that now there's a beanstalk where the goose was. So Jack and his mother woke up. Even though we have nothing and we no longer have a chocolate milk cow, and we have no money for groceries or to pay bills. I slept pretty good last night. How about you, Jack? Oh yeah, I didn't sleep at all because I was playing video games and eating snacks. You're supposed to go to school this morning, Jack. Oh, well, I'm not gonna because I'm playing video games and eating snacks. And his mother was like, oh, you're just never gonna learn, are you? Well, I'm not gonna learn today because I'm playing video games and eating snacks. No, you're going to go to school, Jack. Now go out and feed the geese, and then you're going right to school. Oh, man. Yes, because if you don't, I am going to make you do chores for months. Months? Months. Okay. So Jack goes out to feed the goose, which is gone because we don't know where it went, right? So he goes out and he's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Great googly moogly. And his mother hears all the commotion and she comes out. She's like, what is going on? And she looks at the beanstalk. She's like, what the, where, how, why, what? And Jack's like, beans? She's like, magic beans? Huh? And Jack's like, huh? But he's like, I'm gonna climb it. Yeah, I'm gonna see where it goes, you know, adventure, never been there. It's gonna be cool, right? And his mom's like, you don't know what's up there. Are you crazy? He's like, no, I'm looking for adventure. There's gotta be something up there, right? And where's our goose? Where'd she go? What happened to her? I can't find her anywhere to feed her. Maybe she went up the beanstalk. So I'm just gonna go up there and look around a bit, you know, hang out, see what's going on, you know? His mother's like, no, I forbid it. You're not going up there. And he's like, Mom, I'll be fine. I filled up on snacks this morning. My reflexes are good because I played video games. And she's like, okay, but you have to promise me if you get up there and there's something scary that you're going to scream really loud, okay? Because this was before cell phones. He's like, all right, Mom, all right, I'll do that. So he starts to climb the beanstalk. Woo! And he gets to the top. He's stuck. He gets to the top and he's almost to the top and he sees there's a castle. He's like, oh, way cool. There's a castle up here. I wonder if there's a princess that I can ask out. Yeah. He keeps going and he keeps going and he's up and there's clouds everywhere and it's really pretty and he can see forever and ever and ever. And the first thing he sees is a lady harp. Yeah, you don't see those every day, a lady harp. And she's playing dingo, 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 while she's singing la 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 la. He's like, excuse me. And she's like, oh, la 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 la. She's in her own world. She likes her own singing. She likes to hear her own voice. And she's going, la la la. And finally he's like, hello. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. He's like, where am I? And she's like, oh, you're new here and you're so small. He's like, small? I'm bigger than you are. She's like, oh no, you'll understand in a little while. You're small. She's like, you're in Giganticville. He's like, Giganticville? I've never heard of that. She's like, oh yes, yes, everything here is gigantic, so it's called Giganticville. She's like, you're very small. I'm very small too, so we get along great. Do you like music? Do you like singing? Oh, great. La, 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 la. He's like, stop, stop, stop. Have you seen my goose? My goose has disappeared. And she's like, oh yes, oh yes. The goose is in the castle. And the castle is that way. He's like, oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go find my goose now. And she's like, oh, but you have to be careful. He's like, why? She's like, because there is a gigantic giant. That's why this is called Giganticville. He's like, I don't believe in that. She's like, but you believed in magic beans, right? He's like, well, yeah, the guy showed them. They were jumping in my hand. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I saw them. I saw them jumping. She's like, well, the beanstalk is from the giant beans or magic beans that grew up in the sky, you know? It also brought the goose up here. So you believe in magic beans that brings you up to the sky, but you don't believe in giants. He's like, no, those don't exist. I mean, I had a cow that had chocolate milk and I had magic beans, but giants, whatever. She's like, all right, well, I think you're going to find out otherwise, but you know, the castle's that way. So that's the way you need to go to find your goose in the castle. He's like, oh, okay, well, thank you, harp lady, who sings and plays herself. I'll see you later. And she's like, okay, I'm glad you like singing and music. La, 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 la. He's like, yeah, okay, see you later. And he's walking and he's walking. And he sees this gigantic piece of metal. Whoop, I'm losing my house. He sees this gigantic piece of metal sticking out of the ground. He's like, what is that? Well, it is a huge axe head. And about that time, he hears this sound, and it sounds like boom, 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 boom. It's like, what is that? Is it earthquake? I don't feel the ground moving, but I sure do hear it. And it just keeps getting closer. It's boom, 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 boom. He's like, wow, it's getting closer and closer. I need to hide behind something. So he hides behind this big axe. And it's actually bigger than what it appears here because everything's smaller on television, right? So he's hiding behind the axe. And he keeps hearing this boom, boom. Getting closer and closer. What do you think it is? Yeah, I think you're right. It is Bigfoot. Yes. No, it's not Bigfoot. What else could it be? The Loch Ness Monster? Yes, it could be the Loch Ness Monster. No, you're wrong. It's not that either. You know what it is? It is the giant. Yes, the giant. And he is looking for Jack. Because he noticed that all of a sudden there was a beanstalk leading to his castle. And he saw the goose and, you know, he grabbed her up because he was like, wow, goose for dinner. Yeah. But then she started laying golden eggs. He was like, oh, wow, a goose that lays golden eggs. I'm going to be rich. And if she stops laying golden eggs, I won't be hungry anymore because I can eat her. So he's like, but who put this stalk here? And now anybody can just come up here and steal my golden eggs and possibly steal my lady harp. And I love the way she sings. So he's like, I gotta find this person and they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay for making this right here up to my castle because I don't want anybody up here with me. So he starts clomping around. Boom, 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 boom. And he stops and he sniffs the air. And he goes, fee, fi, fo, fiend. I smell a boy who used magic beans. And about that time, he picks up his axe. Yes. Where is he? And about that time, he notices Jack was hiding behind the axe. Oh my goodness. What is he gonna do? So what does Jack do? Well, Jack might be, tiny compared to the giant. But the giant, he's pretty slow. Jack is quick. And Jack plays video games, so he has really fast reflexes. So what he does is he runs between the giant's legs. Woo! And the giant was so slow that Jack was already at the castle by the time the giant swung the axe at Jack. And that made the giant mad. That's why his arms are up like this. He's like, I'm gonna get you. So he runs up to the castle, and guess what shows up? At the castle is our goose. And she is laying golden eggs all over the place. They're all over. It's like a whole room just full of golden eggs that she has laid. And before, she just laid regular eggs, that you had for breakfast. But now, since she ate those beans and it magically caused this magic beanstalk, now she lays golden eggs. It was all magical. So now Jack's like, wow, I'm going to get my goose back, who I love almost as much as my cow that I lost. And we are going to be able to save the farm because she's laying golden eggs everywhere. So I need to grab her and I need to find some way out of here and get home to see my mother and show her what I did so she can be really proud of me. So, and the harp was making its way over here too, jumping. Jump, la la la, jump, la 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 la, jump, la 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 la. And it finally came over here too and was with the goose that lays the golden eggs. And the giant finally made it to the castle right here. And it looks really small, but that's the thing about magic, see? If it looks small, that doesn't necessarily mean it is small. It's huge on the inside. Huge. So the giant comes back up. He's like, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a Jack. Yeah, I know it doesn't rhyme. What can I say? Giants don't go to school. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his toenails for my bread. Ew, gross. Toenails for bread? Yuck. What kind of giant are you that you eat toenails in your bread? Blech. Anyway, after everybody was grossed out by the toenails thing, Jack was like, oh, he's not going to catch me because I am fast. My reflexes are quick, like a ninja. So Jack comes out of his hiding place And the giant sees him. He's like, I'm gonna get you, Jack. And your little goose too. And he starts to go after Jack, and Jack's like, oh, no, you're not gonna get me. I'm like a ninja. And he does all these little weird jumps. Woo! And he grabs the goose. And he jumps again. Woo! And he grabs the music lady. And he jumps right over the giant. He does a double somersault. He could have been in the Olympics as a gymnast. That's how well he did. And he lands right here. And then he jumps right back over him because now he has the axe too. I know, he has lots of hands to hold all this stuff. And he does a triple somersault. And he lands right back where the castle is. And he's like, ha ha, ha 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 ha, you can't catch me. And he starts going down the beanstalk. And he yells to his mom, Mom, I'm on my way down. Watch out, there's a big giant and he's coming after me. And his mom's like, no way, giants don't exist. Magic beans exist and chocolate milk cows exist. But giants, there's no such thing. He's like, oh yes, there is, and he's coming after me. I'm coming down with our goose that's laying golden eggs now and this golden harp lady that plays music. La, la, la. And his mom's like, what have you been eating and drinking? You're like delusional. You're imagining things. He's like, no, I'm not. You'll see when I get down here. So he gets all the way down and he puts the harp lady down gently so she doesn't get hurt. And she sings, la, 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 I'd love to live with you, Jack and his mom. And then he puts the golden goose down. And he had gotten all the eggs too. So he puts all the eggs in the house. And his mom's like, whoa, that's enough to pay for the farm and dinner. And I can buy me a new dress. And I need my hair done. And we'll have enough left over for the rest of our lives. Wow, Jack, I am so proud of you. You did so well today. And Jack's like, no time, Mom. The giant is coming down and he's going to eat us. Well, actually, he's going to put our nails in his bread. And his mom goes, gross. And Jack's like, yeah, I know. I don't know what it is either. It's just disgusting. But who knows what he's going to do to us to get our nails, our toenails. So the giant starts climbing down. And his shoe gets caught on one of the leaves. He's like, oh, well, I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. I can't go anywhere. I can't go up. I can't go down. And I'm stuck. Please help me. I'm scared of heights. And Jack's like, all right, Mr. Giant. And the giant says, my name's Jerome the giant. He's like, can you help me? And Jack says, I'll help you on one condition. He's like, what? He's like, you can't capture me and tape my toenails. And Jerome the giant said, I don't do that. That's just something I say to get people to leave. I'm very shy. And Jack's like, oh, okay, well, that's good because that is disgusting. And Jerome's like, yeah, I know. Ugh, gross. That's why he gets rid of people. And Jack's like, I can see that. He's like, hey, do you like video games? And Jerome's like, yeah, I do. I love video games, but I'm not very good at them because my thumbs are so big. And Jack's like, well, maybe when we're done, you can try to play my video game. And Jerome's like, yeah, but you gotta let me off of this, like, beanstalk first. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry, Sorry, dude. So he climbs up here and he takes the axe and he very gently cuts the stem. And Jack is able to climb down. The giant is able to climb down. Jerome. He climbs down. And he's like, thanks, Jack. You're a friend. I like you. Let's go play video games. I'll even let you have your goose back. And, you know, the singing harp lady can, like, take turns where she lives. And she's like, oh, lovely. I will pick a month. I will live here with Jack and then live with Jerome. Yeah, she's not a very good singer. So they go into the house and they play video games. And Jack says, Mom, can Jerome stay for dinner? And Mom is like, I don't know if we have enough food to feed a giant. And Jerome's like, I am a vegetarian. Just point me in the way of the trees. And Jack's mom's like, cool. And Jack's like, cool. And everybody lives happily ever after. And that is my take on Jack and the Giant and the Beanstalk. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my version of the fairy tale. And I hope to see you next time for Flannel Friday. See you later. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.